going to be talking about the Lord's discipline today. As Hebrews says, "My son, do not make light of the discipline of the Lord, nor grow disheartened when he disciplines you. For the Lord disciplines those he loves, and all those he accepts as a son." And then it goes on to say, if we're not disciplined by the Lord, then that's a very bad sign that we probably don't belong to him. As a friend of mine, once an older friend of mine, used to say, the Lord don't whip the devil's children. So basically, if a Christian is not, if a so-called professing Christian is not getting a whooping when they do something wrong, or they misrepresent Christ intentionally, and they do the things that dishonor him, and eventually they don't get a whooping, there's something wrong with that picture. Because I've known a lot of people who are outside the faith that, like, maybe even I sense a little resentment because they think that these Christians, they just can get away with that whatever they want, and they're just forgiven. Plain and simple. The Lord doesn't do anything to them, and well, that's not true. If we look at Psalm 51, David talked about David was lamenting his sin over the adultery he had with Bathsheba, and if you read the story of David in Psalm 51, you will see David experienced some very bitter consequences to what he had done. He had committed adultery. He had arranged for the husband of Bathsheba to be murdered so he could take his wife, and he had done something very wicked, and the prophet came to him and said, because you did this, and then he lists off, what's going to happen to him, because the Lord is giving him a cosmic whooping there. And so we also see the nation of Israel, when they stubbornly, persistently rebelled against God. What did he do to them? Well, he handed them over to their enemies. You see that throughout the book of Judges. But finally, after he had had enough, and they kept persisting in disobedience and rebellion, the Lord sent them into exile for 70 years, a land of captivity. Now, I've been one of those Christians before. Yeah, I've been exiled into the desert. There was a period of time where, after I had become, steeped in some things that I knew were wrong, my heart had become hard, and, the Lord sent me into kind of a spiritual exile. I felt really uncomfortable and disheartened about it, and it lasted for about a year or so. And it was not pleasant because it was just such a dry season. It was such a, I wanted out, and the problem is my heart was hardened, and so I had to go through a lot of stuff before I could get my heart softened and repentant again, and actually moving back in the right direction. So sometimes the Lord allows us to do what we want and experience the bitter consequences of that, and that might land us in the desert. I'm not saying that all desert seasons are a result of God's chastisement, but if you want to end up in a spiritual desert or have other unpleasant things happen, maybe even worse than that, just keep going on your way and being stubborn. And I'm not one to criticize anybody of that, because I know that tendency is in my own heart. So I need prayer for that every day, that my heart is just responsive to the Lord. But know that the Lord's people do not get away with stuff. Nobody gets away. And ultimately, at the very end of our lives, we'll have to appear before the judgment seat of Christ, to account for what the things done, whether good or bad, in the body. Now we're forgiven. We're saved by grace through faith. This is not of ourselves; it is a gift from God, not by works, so that no one can boast. But our eternal security is not on the line. But we are going to face some form of, each of us, as Christians, are probably going to experience a little amount of shame. Some are going to experience more than others, but we're all going to probably have things that we're all going to probably have a little shame of the way of certain moments we made choices where, we knew we could have done better. We knew what the Lord had done for us. He had forgiven us of our sins. He had made it possible to live the victorious Christian life. Yet that time and time again. We blow it, and that's just the way it goes. And it's not excusable, and that's of course why the Lord will judge His people. And it does say it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of a living God. That means a child that gets caught, doing something he knows his mother or father doesn't want him to do. Oh, when he gets caught doing that, it's not a pretty picture. I mean, that little boy, or that little girl, probably is like, oh crap, yeah. So it's not. It doesn't pay off. Even if you're forgiven of your sins and you're under grace, I wouldn't. I still wouldn't test the limits of God because He can definitely make a person's life miserable. Not because He wants to, but because that's what it takes sometimes to get people to behave as they ought. Until the Lord can move us into a deeper, sanctified place where we can actually obey God out of joy and love. Sometimes He has to discipline us and train us, and discipline basically means instructive. It has an instructive connotation. It has a training aspect. When the Lord causes pain in the form of discipline, when we've done something wrong, that's supposed to lead us into deeper holiness, not discourage us. We're not to be like, oh, the Lord hates me. He's just so mad at me. He's whipping me and beating me over the head with my sins. No, He's not doing that. He already paid for those on the cross. But what He's doing is He doesn't want you to stay stuck in those, because that is not the way a Christian lives. And I have to repent myself, because I know what it's like to be a Christian who has totally made a mess of things and a mess of life at times. And as long as I've been a Christian, I begin to realize more and more how imperfect I am and how unworthy I am of His grace. And yet He still continues that process to make us more like Jesus Christ. He who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. And part of that process is when He disciplines us, and when He causes certain things into our lives that cause pain to steer us away from evil things that will destroy us. God bless.